parks have helped to shape our country, and they have given families a reason to come together all around the world. One park that has helped shape theme parks in America is Lake Compounce in Bristol, Connecticut. The park was a family business owned by Gad Norton and his family. When Norton had become successful with this park, more superior parks began to open throughout the United States. The park was sold to the Hershey Entertainment Company in 1985 and was sold a few more times after that. In 2007, the park was sold for the final time and had some modifications made. Lake Compounce is still running in Bristol, Connecticut, and is the oldest running amusement park in America. Since the opening of Lake Compounce, many other parks have been opened around the world. Some of the parks that Lake Compounce influenced were Six Flags, Walt Disney World, and Carowinds. One park in Myrtle Beach became very popular. This park was known as the Pavilion. Open for close to 60 years, tourists from all over made memories. The Pavilion made large amounts of money for Myrtle Beach. However, it closed in 2006 after a new theme park was announced in Myrtle Beach. It would be located a short distance from the beach, which was also a few miles from the Pavilion.
After the closing of the Pavilion, Hard Rock Park was going to be able to make more money than they originally thought. Though at the time the developers were not expecting the park to be successful, the grand opening was delayed and was later continued in 2009. Hard Rock Park was a 55-acre park that featured more than 50 rock and roll themed attractions. Theme parks are large and require much space. Therefore, Hard Rock Park was the first major amusement park built in a decade. Before this, only a little over 400 theme parks were located in the United States. None of the 400 parks were the same or similar to the main theme of Hard Rock Park. Before Hard Rock Park was thought of, another theme park was planned to be in the same location. The park was going to be based on the Four Seasons and would be known as Fantasy Harbor. Fantasy Harbor was cut to the lack of money and the tragic event of September 11, 2001. Shortly after, the park was renamed Hard Rock Park when John Vinkowski came up with the idea of a rock and roll theme park. The name was originated from the successful Hard Rock Cafe.
The park featured many themed rides and attractions. The majority of them were based around the era of rock music with bands like the Eagles. Hard Rock Park had attractions to accommodate all ages. Rides including Led Zeppelin and the Eagles' Life in the Fast Lane were two of Hard Rock Park's top attractions that stood out to tourists. The rides were made to attract people of all ages. The park was also split into different sections that had different themes. Some of these sections were the Cool Country, Rock and Roll Heaven, and the Lost in the 70s. The most popular section of the park was called the British Invasion, which featured a bus once owned by the Beatles. Hard Rock Park also had many valuable items throughout the park that came from rock and roll performers. The most popular ride at Hard Rock Park was the Led Zeppelin. The ride was in the British Invasion section of the park. During the ride, the Led Zeppelin song, Whole Lotta Love, plays as you ride through a serpentine track. Even though Hard Rock Park has many rides to entertain their guests, they also put on shows to captivate the patrons. One show that they put on is the nightly fireworks shows choreographed to Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Hard Rock Park has many appealing rides, shows, and places in the park to bring in many tourists.
Hey, I'm Emma Dole, and I'm here with Katie Merritt. She's the music teacher at Midland Elementary, and I'm interviewing her today about her job at Hard Rock Park. What was it like working at Hard Rock Park?
That was a really long time ago, but what I remember was that it was a really easy, laid-back environment. It was honestly probably the easiest, most relaxing job that I've ever had, and it paid really, really well. And it was a ton of fun, singing songs, wearing crazy costumes. It was a blast.
What kind of costumes did you wear?
Some interesting costumes. I remember my very first day, my actual job was to sing as a karaoke host at a roller coaster, but my very first day working on my own, they sat me in a dunk tank, and I was dressed up like I was going to a disco, and I was wearing an afro, and I just sat there and bantered back and forth with people all day in the freezing cold water and trying to keep the afro on, which was difficult. And then I also had on, if you could imagine, like the Incredibles, like a spandex outfit with some go-go boots as the karaoke host. So,
for the karaoke songs, what songs did you sing?
I I repeated about 5 songs. I can't remember them. I can't remember. I think it was like Hungry Like the Wolf maybe, or Another One Bites the Dust. I can't remember exactly, but basically I would get up there and I would be there for 30 minutes. So for 30 minutes I would go up, and I had like a bouncer with me, to keep the crowd away, because it was like we were famous. And we would go up and I would get my little DJ area set up, and people were waiting in line, and I was in my little British accent, and I was trying to get people to come up and sing karaoke with me, but 9 times out of 10 no one would come sing, so I just spent 30 minutes singing the same 5 songs over and over, and then I left. So it was a lot of fun because nobody knew where I was from. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier you had to talk in a British accent. Can you give us your best British accent?
What should I say in my British accent?
What did you have to say at Hard Rock Park?
Lots of different things. Why don't you give me a sentence, and then I'll do my best to say it in a British accent.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hard Rock Park.
Let's see. Hello everyone, and welcome to Hard Rock Park. We hope you're here to enjoy the day. Everybody have a wonderful day. That was horrible. I'm pretty sure it was really bad, but it's okay. It's a little rusty.
So you mentioned earlier you had to sing a song to get the job. Do you mind singing us a few bars of that song?
Sure. Put me on the spot a little bit here. But okay. Let's see. Okay. I love you, ooh, ooh, but I gotta stay true. Ooh, ooh. My morals got me on my knees. I'm begging, please stop playing games. I don't know what this is, but you got me good, just like I knew you would.
Thank you. That was great.
Thank you.
Well, we thank you for your time, and thank you for being such a great sport with your accent and singing us a song.
Yes.
So,
well, thank you. It's been a lot of fun. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. So this is Emma and Miss Katie Merritt coming at you from MES.
Hard Rock Park cost over $400 million to build. However, this money was never made back when the park was open. The low attendance rates cost the park, later resulting in it shutting down and being sold in bankruptcy court for $25 million. When Hard Rock Park was opened, Myrtle Beach's economy was in an all-time low. There was not enough revenue for road renovations and town refurbishment. Tourist rates lowered and businesses struggled. When the park was sold, it became Freestyle Music Park in the spring of 2009.
Freestyle Music Park had the same rides as Hard Rock Park. However, they were all renamed and moved to other locations. Freestyle Park was going to be a more family-friendly theme park for the area. The park was planned to be very successful, but also tragically closed due to bankruptcy after one season of being open. Although the parks tragically closed, some of the rides still remain around the world. Some of the rides were sold to other amusement parks and others are in landfills. The Led Zeppelin was sold and moved to an Asian theme park, and some other rides were also sent to other theme parks. Sadly, the rest of the rides were sent to be thrown away and never be used again. Hard Rock Park was expected to be a major triumph for Myrtle Beach. However, it was tragically closed due to bankruptcy and poor marketing. On December 28, 2018, the land that was originally Hard Rock Park was sold. According to a news article by WNBF News, the land was bought by FTPP Bishop Parkway for a little over $3 million. The ultimate use of the land is not yet known, though some have suggested a drive-in movie theater or an